everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining. So I've got yet another flame tutorial for you today, except this time I'm doing it on my short nails. So I'm going to jump straight in, ignore the previous filing on my nail here. I did start with a hand file and then resorted to my e-file. So I'm just using my fine carbide bit from Neo Nails to take off gel polish. This is my favourite bit to do that. Really recommend it. I do have a layer of biab underneath this gel polish set, so yes, that's why I'm using my e-file. So feel free to skip forward to the art, or I'm going to prep them first of all and take you with me. I'm just going to prep my cuticles using this large flame diamond bit. I'm going to use it on one side with one rotation, and then I'm going to switch rotations and do the other side of my cuticle, if that makes sense. It really just helps to push the skin and the cuticle away from the nail plate. As I mentioned in my last video, I actually do a lot of my prep work on my natural nail, sort of the regrowth part, with my diamond bit. I learnt this from watching Tabitha Scott Nails here on YouTube. It works really well. I haven't had any issues with lifting or anything like that. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that. So if it looks like I'm being quite rough, I promise you that I'm not. So I'm just going to brush away the dust from doing my cuticles, and then I'm going to quickly nip away any dead skin that I have. I am actually going to prep also with a sanding band, just because I wanted to today, really. I don't always use a sanding band because I like to prep using the diamond bit, as you just saw. But yeah, then I'm going to move on to filing, which I'll skip because you don't really want to watch me file my nails into shape. And then here I'm just using the sanding band, as I mentioned, ready for my base coat. So just quickly, I feel like using the sanding band just helped me to smooth out the rest of the nail. So the previous biab that I had on the top just helped me to make it a bit more of a softer finish. So instead of using a biab today, I'm using my clear rubber base by the gel bottle. I'm going to do 2 even coats of this to give me a little bit of structure. I know it's technically not a builder gel, but 2 coats just means that I can, again, file off with the e-file down to the base layer. I've mentioned before that this is my favourite base coat in the entire world. I will never use anything else. Well, never say never, but I always go back to my clear rubber base because it's literally amazing. No lifting, nothing. I use it underneath extensions. It's amazing. And then once I've done this, I'm just showing you my second coat, and then we will move on to colour. So colour choice today, I'm using Fluffy Cotton by the gel bottle. I did actually end up doing 3 coats of this. Normally I would do 2 coats, but I was using very thin layers today. So yeah, normally with the gel bottle gel polishes I will do 2 coats, but for this one we did 3 as it is quite a pale colour. So I will skip all the layers of gel polish and we'll get straight into the design. I will say quickly, it is harder to do flame nails on yourself. So once you've nailed it on yourself, it's much easier doing it on other clients because of the angle. So imagine your hand being the opposite way round. It's much easier to do it on a client, but we'll jump straight into that part next. And if you see my other videos, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If not, I suggest you go and watch them now. So here we go, I'm starting out with my 3 lines. So this is what I mentioned in my previous video. If you start with your 3 lines, they're your guideline for any flame design. So I'm going to put horns on the top line, the middle line, the longest line that you start with. And then it's like connecting the dots. Practice makes perfect. I'm still by no means incredible at flames. And I'm hoping to get better. So yeah, I'm starting with my 3 lines, putting horns on the middle line, and then just kind of making your way down and perfecting any curves of the flames. So the really good thing about gel polish is that if you make any mistakes, you can literally just wipe it off straight away and start again. I did put a layer of top coat on before I started doing the art. I don't know where that part of film went, it's completely gone. But once I did the gel polish, I put a top coat on, and that makes it really easy to do gel polish. You can do them on all 5 fingers without curing, because it stops them spreading. So that is a number 1 hack in nail art, is top coat before any nail art. So with any flame design, you just want it to be really smooth, and you want like a nice transition from each top of the flame. Like I say, by no means are these perfect, but once I'm happy with that, I didn't cure it, and I turned my hand around like this just so that I could follow to the top of the flame. So like I said before, I'm doing my 3 lines, longest one in the middle, 2 either side. And then I'm following the top line, I'm giving it some little horns in a U shape, and you want the top of the horns to face to each side that they're going to, if that makes sense. So you're going to follow it out, so the left side is going to point to the left and the right side is going to point to the right. The same with the 2 flames either side at the bottom. You're going to follow the line to point to the left on the left side, and you're going to follow the line to point the right on the right side. You could also start out by drawing a little U in the middle of a nail, literally just a tiny little U, and then that could be your sort of stencil for the middle point of the top flame. Am I making sense? You know, like the horseshoe at the top, that could be your little U, and that could be your guideline, and that's always in the centre near enough of the nail. Here I'm using the Magpie Art Gel. Really like these art gels. They come in a few different colours which are amazing. I always like to do a little spin on a flame. So my previous flame nail tutorials, one was chrome. I didn't even do that perfectly. I could do another chrome one. But yeah, this time I'm just going to add another colour in to sort of give it a 3D effect. People always struggle with short nails doing flames, thinking, oh, I can't do flames on short nails. There is no reason why you can't, and I am hopefully proving that today. So I actually decided to do these 2 nails together so that I could prove that the colours don't run. Remember that the 2 nails I've already done aren't cured yet, they are just gel, haven't been in the lamp. So I'm starting on just the middle line and doing that U shape that I just mentioned. You could start with that little U shape. I decided to do it onto my top line. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. Once you've practiced a few times, you'll kind of memorise what kind of shape you're doing. Not everyone does flames the same, but I've kind of always stuck to the same kind of shape. I mean, from my first video, they've definitely changed. But on shorter nails, you just want to keep them kind of thinner so that they don't block out the whole nail. mean, even looking back now on this video, there are bits that I would definitely change. They're not all even and consistent. They're slightly different, but what flame is consistent really in real life? Yeah, and like I said, for the edges, you're going to point each point you're going to make, so each top of your flame is going to face that side of the nail. So I hope that makes sense. As I mentioned in the beginning, it's harder to do flames on your own nails. I repeat, it's harder to do them on your own nails. So here, I'm just flipping my nail around because it's easier to follow the flame to the tip, and that kind of sharpens the tip, but that's how it would be on a client. So I'm just going in and perfecting some of those little loop rounded bits at the bottom. Again, they're not all even, they don't all line up in the same part, but they turned out really great, and yeah, I was really happy with the outcome. I was gonna leave them like this, but then I did decide to add a little 3D, just a little 3D spin. So starting on my thumb, I'm going to do the 3 guidelines. I'm going to give it the U-shaped horns at the top, and each horn is going to face to each side of the nail that it's on. And then I'm just going to make it smooth, perfect it, make sure that it transitions nicely, if you know what I mean, just so that it's flowing. You know, you want it to be a flowable design. Don't get me wrong, when I started doing flames, I wasn't great. But I will repeat this, if you make sure you do a top coat before you do your art, it will help so much, I promise you. Yeah, so I'm just doing the sides. They're going to face to the side of the nail that you're on, so that one faces to that side. Then I'm just going to connect it to the tip and paint the free edge, and the same with the other side. I'll just leave you to watch, and I hope that it makes sense. So this side is facing, pointing to the side of the nail. You know, the top of the flame points which side it's on. Yeah. So guys, I started messing about with one side of this flame here. I'm going to go all the way to the top, and it splits in two, and I just thought, I don't know what I'm doing. But the amazing thing about gel is that you can just wipe it off. So I'm going to grab a Q-tip, and I'm literally going to wipe the bit that I don't want off. So I wanted to leave the rest of the flame because I was really happy with it. Again, because of the top coat underneath, it really helps to just wipe things off easily with the Q-tip. And then I'm just going to draw it back on the way that I want it. So yeah, much better. So here goes for the little 3D effect. I'm just using Bellini by the gel bottle. Also, if anyone can tell me how to get rid of the little ball at the end of when you pick up gel, you see what I mean? Like, this is a new brush. I don't know if it's because it's a new brush, but it's very like, it wouldn't stop the little ball on the end. Anyway, let me know. Yeah, so I'm just adding on the same side of each flame, excuse me, a little orange 3D effect, and I'm going to do that on all nails, and then we're going to top coat, do some cuticle oil, and yeah, I'm making sure not to put too much colour in. You do just want it to be subtle. Yeah, and you can use whatever colour you want. I did originally start by using purple for the main flames, but you could do blue and pink, you could do blue and purple, you could do anything, any colour that you want. It looks great. nails, guys. I have pretty short nails at the moment. I'm trying to grow them out naturally. I did try quite a different shape as well, so I wouldn't normally go this square, but I just wanted them to look like kind of my nail beds really. Yeah, I'm just using the Gel Bottles Extreme Shine Top Coat No Wipe again. This is my favourite top coat in the world. It's so shiny. It's so nice not to have stickiness after you've finished a set of nails. But please make sure you wait for it to cool down before you pop on your cuticle oil. So now I'm going to jump into that. I do use a brush with my cuticle oil, and I make my cuticle oil myself. I use a brush purely because it's easier to get into and underneath the nail, and I just love, my clients love the feeling of when it's underneath the nail. Yeah, also ignore my skin. I do have a bit of an eczema breakout at the moment, but I do have, yeah, I get eczema, dermatitis kind of thing on my hands for some unknown reason. Yeah, that's my video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know down below. They're kind of like Hot Wheels vibes. But yeah, I just wanted to prove that you can do flame nails on short nails quite easily. It just takes a bit of practice. So practice away. Let me know if you have any questions or tips for me to help me out. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a like and subscribe if you want, no pressure. And I'll see you soon. Bye.